Hello everyone, my name is Loco and welcome back to a professional match of StarCraft 2.
Now today it's time for a best of 5 series of Zerg vs Zerg, where in game number 1 we find ourselves on the map Oxide. Spawning here in the bottom left hand corner and playing with the blue Zerg drones from Germany, we have none other than Lambo. His opponent in the opposite corner with the red Zerg drones apparently already decided to go for the spawning pool at I think 12 supply. From Ukraine, we're looking at none other than Bly's main base. Now shout out right there to my lovely assistant for doing the introduction for me today. That way I can both save my voice and also make sure that the neighbors don't wake up this early in the morning. Anyways, Bly of course very well known for playing these hyper aggressive build orders. So we'll see how this is gonna play out for Mr. Lambo. Lambo decided to go for a hatchery first right here at 16 supply. This is about as close to a build order loss as you can get to in Zerg vs Zerg. However, I don't really know how this is going to play out. Is he going to pull the drones? That's kind of the question, right? If he decides to pull the drones after also making Zerglings, which I think is what Bly likes to do. Yeah, he's already selecting drones. I think he will. I think he's leaving like 10 or he's probably like, yeah, bringing like 10. There we go. Oh my god, he's leaving 3 of those bad boys behind. This is the worst case scenario right now for Lambo. The thing is, I don't know how Lambo defends against these sort of things, but I have seen him pull this kind of thing off in the past. If anyone's going to be able to pick up on these sort of things, it is going to be Lambo. Lambo's ridiculously good at playing that very rigid Zerg strategy. So he doesn't even know. He doesn't even see the Zerglings and the drones leaving the main base. So at this point, he's completely in the dark. Now, Lambo is the type of guy who will grind this kind of stuff out over and over and over again until he can get the perfect defense. This is a rather prevalent build right now at top level StarCraft 2, so you see this regularly. There's going to be 3 spine crawlers, I think, on the creep. There we go. 1, 2, and the third one should go up here very shortly as well once he's got the minerals. There we go. And here we go. What's the defense going to look like? If these spine crawlers finish, that's going to be an absolute disaster for Lambo. He decided to start up a queen on the low ground, and right now he's actually sending all of the drones past his spawning pool towards the low ground. Okay. Couple links coming up inside of the main base as well. Maybe he wants to distract the red army here to... ooh, he's gonna fight it, right? Like, he's gonna have to fight it, right? That spawning pool is gonna be in a lot of trouble. He's sneaking out a lot of units. So far, nothing has really gone down. I think a couple Zerglings may very well be caught. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. Even a 4th spawning, or a spine crawler rather, is 4th spawning pool. A 4th spine crawler is coming up. He's hold positioning the drones on the low ground, preventing the units. Oh, this is interesting. Wait, so how is this going to play out? So Bly is going to try and walk one of those spines down towards the low ground. It's not actually going to happen because he's being blocked by hold position drones. And since the drones right now are not attacking, the queen is the one that the Zerglings are trying to reach. It's a bit of a weird AI situation where those links, when you attack move them, basically don't know where to go. Now the spawning pool is gone though, and with that Lambo can't really produce anything but, well, drones. He's going to have to produce another... Oh my god. Another, this is actually not so bad, I don't think, right? He's gonna have to produce another spawning pool here. So, a couple of the drones end up leaving once again. They mineral walk through this. There's still 4 spine crawlers, though, available here for Bly. And this is what I mean. This is what Lambo is really good at. He's preventing the structures right now from going down. Now, oh, he needs to be so careful, though. So, basically, spine crawlers, when they uproot, they have to walk down the ramp if they want to burrow over there, right? But if they can never actually walk down the ramp, obviously they can never actually get there and burrow. They can't burrow on a ramp, or on the creep on the ramp, so it's a little bit of awkwardness. I don't think... Is this in range? No, that's just barely not in range of the mineral line. Alright, and that's kind of what I was talking about. Lambo is real good at figuring out these sort of responses. He's actually got a YouTube channel as well that he recently announced he's going to be posting on more regularly. I'll go ahead and post a link to that down below in the description of the video. And I'll also include Bly's YouTube channel where he regularly live streams. Or at the very least he used to. I don't know if he still does, but I know a couple weeks ago he did. Wait, hold up! Did that... Oh, sometimes they seem to be in range. Now, a couple of the units do sneak out. A couple of the spines, that is. I don't think that was intentional. There were a couple Zerglings over there inside of the main base too, but Bly decided to make his own defensive links already, by the way. Another hatch is coming up here for the player in blue. This is now actually becoming a bit of a problem, though. For some reason, all of a sudden, these spines are a little in range. Does it have to do with vision? No, I don't think it has to do with vision. Oh my god, here come the other spine boys. Now, they're very, very slow off creep. You really need to get blocking that again, though. Lambo, Lambo, Lambo. This is already a ridiculous series. I don't even know exactly how I'm supposed to be commentating this, right? Because this is such an uncommon situation. The third base, by the way, gets cancelled. Brenda over here gets poked to death. But it looks like the natural has been secured here. Lambo is now at 19 workers. And Bly is sitting at a healthy 17. There's link speed coming up here for Lambo, so he's got a slight tech advantage. Natural expansion is going to finish up here very soon as well for the Ukrainian Zerg. I mean, he can now retake his main base, and we're going to have... Oh. Catches a couple of those red Zerglings. I think we're going to have a pretty normal game. Okay. If you find yourself losing against this sort of build a lot, you might want to very well dissect the defense here that Lambo went for. Because that was really pretty. Using a lot of those units on the low ground, I mean, there was a lot of lost mining time, obviously. But if you can prevent those units from going down after you mineral walk all your drones to the natural, apparently you may very well still be able to defend. This is actually crazy because we're in a pretty normal game right now. I do feel that in straight up macro games, Lambo will probably have the upper hand. That's no disrespect at all to Bly. It's just that Lambo is real good at playing standard StarCraft. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he's gonna try and force the games in that direction, whereas Bly will probably play to his strengths, and that usually includes a little bit more shenanigans. Now, this is an important scout for exactly that reason. I don't know if it was worth that many links. But he scouts out at this point that there's no super quick Roach Warren or super quick Lair or anything weird, right? This is a strange game at this point, so getting any scouting information against someone like Bly is going to be helpful because if there's someone comfortable playing from this position, it is going to be the Ukrainian. The Ukrainian Zerg, that is. All right, ooh, couple of links from Lambo also snuck in. This is such a weird game. I feel like this is not something I've really seen before. We see a Lair coming up right now off of a very, very low economy. Second gas comes up. I don't know what Lambo wants to be doing with two... What's he gonna do with this Lair timing? I guess it has to be a Spire, but with two gases, you can only really make two Mutas, or maybe three, right? Like, you're not gonna be able to afford that much. Maybe it's gonna be a Nidus? So Lair does start up here as well for Bly eventually. I actually don't know what he's going to do with that. Yeah, he's got enough gas for a Spire. I think that's what he's going to do. But he's going to have very, very little workers. So he can't really afford the gases over here yet. Is it going to be a Spire? I think it has to be. That's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah. All right. Nice response time right there by Bly. Could have lost all those links. If that was me, I probably would have lost them all. So I guess, yeah, it's not actually so bad. I guess this is just going to be two base mutas right now. Now, normally you don't add on additional gases here until you have full mineral saturation. But I actually like it this time around here for Lambo, just because you need to make sure that you get yourself more gas out, right? Like, mutas are very much so a surprise, right? They usually tend to deal more damage when they're a bit of a surprise. Roach Warren coming up here for Bly. He does finish his own lair here. He's going up to 4 gases. We may very well see a Spire from him too. The Roach Warren could very well be safety. This is a this is a crazy game. We'll have to keep an eye out right now on the player in red. So obviously in a best of 5 series, it is the first player to win 3 maps that ends up winning. I think he's either gonna have to take like a Nidus Worm, a Spire, or a third base here very soon, or 2 of the 3. Well, probably not Nidus Worm and Spire. That would be a little bit strange. So how much gas are we talking right now? So Lambo is going to be able to produce like 5 mutas, maybe 6. Yeah. The thing is, that's relatively easy to defend, and then you find yourself in a bit of a strange spot. I guess in this scenario, though, I think mutas are real good if you can prevent your opponent from ever going up to 4 bases. And considering mutas are going to come out before the 3rd base is going to be even remotely done, I can see it work. Yeah, I can see it work. Now, it does get scouted here for Bly, who decides to immediately start up his own Spire as well. So maybe he's going to go for his own mutas, or maybe... Like, playing mutas from behind is a little bit awkward, so maybe he's going to go Corruptors instead. We have seen him play Roach Corruptor in the past. A couple of lings are moving across the map right now. I actually really like the creep spread over here as well with that one Overlord. That now allows that Spine Crawler that's been worth its weight in gold to join in the fray as well. But yeah, now you can see, I mean, these mutas are now a glorified janitor crew. They're not really going to be the surprise anymore that they usually are in this matchup. Instead, they're going to be used for cleaning up some of the map, taking map control, couple of overlord kills maybe. But that's going to be about it. So the +1 carapace starts up here for Lambo. That indicates to me that he thinks that there's likely going to be a Spire from his opponent as well. And that is indeed the case. Muta versus Muta play is also real awkward. Like, this whole game has been a little bit strange. They seem surprisingly comfortable, though. Muta versus Muta is also a little bit strange. He's actually going to go for his own Mutalisk here. Bly, that is. So he's playing Mutas from behind. I guess he's banking on the fact that his third base was a little bit quicker. But he's not going to be able to take the gases there that early. Anyway, so in Muta battles, right? Carapace upgrades are fantastic because of the Muta attack bounces. Basically, every single bounce deals one less damage. So they obviously have their base attack and then the attacks bounce twice as well, which is nice. Only just now, though, is when the gases are taken here for Bly, and we already see those gases finished on the other side of the map. In Muta battles, the one with better upgrades and the one with more Mutas is, yeah, in a really good spot. So how many Mutas are we talking right now? 13 for Lambo and 9 here for Bly. Now, the bounces can indeed bounce as well to structures and units underneath the Mutalisks. So that's the reason why we saw Lambo retreat just now. If you're fighting on top of a couple queens, I mean, those obviously also shoot those spines. But, yeah, it can become really, really annoying to have to deal with. Now, I feel like these Zergling traits, yeah, they have also been going in Lambo's favor so far. Man, I can't believe we're now at the 11-minute mark. This is actually pretty insane. The fact that we got here in the first place is, pretty fantastic. So a lot of the queens actually end up getting surrounded here. And that actually could become a disaster here, especially with the +1 carapace for these mutas finishing up very shortly. Apparently, Lambo, though, is going to force the issue right now, not even waiting for the upgrades. I think he realizes that he's got way more mutas here, although it's really hard to tell. With the links going into the natural and the mutas going into the third, that's going to be tons of dead drones here. And Lambo now takes a very decisive advantage. He can even continue fighting this quite easily. I mean, he doesn't really need to, but yeah, Bly realizes at this point as well that there's way more mutas for the player in blue. And game number 1 goes in favor of Lambo after defending a 12 pool. So I'm trying to retrace the steps right there that Lambo went for at the beginning of the previous game. He didn't see that it was a 12 pool with his overlords, so he saw it at the last possible moment. Basically when the Zerglings were running in his natural, right? That's the moment when he saw it. So what were the steps that he took? He did not make a queen inside of the main base. I think he pulled the drones out of gas as well, or maybe he mined 100 and then pulled off. I'm not entirely sure. And then he stacked all of his drones together in like one of those mineral patches. So if you like select all your drones and then you furiously right click one of those mineral patches, you can basically force them all to stack up together, right? Kind of like the way that Florencio likes to do it in some of his games. And then he right clicked them all to the natural, where he started his Zergling production as well as a queen. And then as soon as he had a drone on the low ground, he also made a spine crawler there. And then he used the whole positioning there when the spine crawlers finished to prevent those spines from Bly to walking down that ramp. Pretty neat. Pretty cool, right? That is, yeah. I mean, it's one of those builds that, like, when you look at it, it's like, yeah, okay, of course that's what you do. But when you actually are in that situation, it takes about a quarter of a second. No, not even that, less. Like a tenth of a second to make a mistake, and then all of a sudden you have 3 spine crawlers in your natural, and you're like, I don't know what to do, man. Pretty impressive, though, that we even got to that scenario. And then the Muta follow-up from both as well. That was a neat little game. I hope that is gonna show us what the rest of this series is gonna look like as well. We did see that spawning pool this time around from Lambo, going 6 Zerglings of his own. This is not actually a cheese or whatever. This is just him opening up super safely. So, in all honesty, like, I think that this is... If this would have once again been like a 12 pool right here from Bly, right? Or a 13-12 or something along those lines. So, 13 gas, 12 spawning pool. It would get trashed by this opener here that Lambo went for. Especially a 12 pool. Like, a 12 pool would just die, right? The thing is, if you open up very safely and you make sure that you don't die to stupid stuff, usually you lose or at least fall behind against like a hatch first, like a standard hatch first, which is basically what Bly is going for here. So you can see all this time, Bly is a couple workers ahead. It doesn't sound significant until you make it like a percentage, right? Being 3 workers ahead out of 20 workers. I mean, I'm not going to do the math for you, but it's a very significant advantage this early on into the game, just having a couple additional workers mining there for a while. It also means, of course, that the double queen production is going to be in favor here of Bly, who's now going to be able to inject with 2 bases, rather than just the one that Lambo has. So there's a small advantage at this point, I would say, here for Bly, but really nothing too significant. So is Lambo going to follow this up with hyper-aggression right now? We'll see. I think the Bailing Nest is probably mostly defensive. But the fact that he's putting it in the main base makes me wonder if he's trying to trick his opponent here for just a little bit. Nah, it looks like he's still gonna just go for a third base here very shortly. Alright. In the meantime, right here on the side of Bly. Nice scout here by Lambo, by the way. The third queen was acquired and a very quick lair. Alright. Bly's playing some cheeky StarCraft, man. I love it. So normally the lair doesn't start up until like 4 minutes. This lair, I think, started at like 3 minutes. No, earlier, before that. So it's basically, he didn't even get link speed. Oh, wait, hold up. He didn't even get link speed. He skipped link speed entirely. And then decided to go straight into a lair. Now a Roach Warren and an Evo Chamber. Couple queens, extra gases on the low ground. I'm gonna say Nidus Worm. Considering it didn't start up a third of his own. I feel like this should be a Nidus Worm. We'll see. Lair's finished right now. Maybe that Roach Warren is a little bit later, though, than you want it. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyways. That's a little bit strange, though. He rushed out that lair and then actually did nothing with it. Little bit of build order inefficiency. Maybe, yeah. I think he wanted to start up Glio Reconstitution, which is Roach Speed, right away. But he was probably a little late there on starting the Roach Warren because he was busy microing the Zerglings. Happens to the best of them. And there's the Nidus. Okay, yeah. It is going to be a Nidus. Okay, so Queens, Roaches, with +1 on Roach Speed in a Nidus Worm. In the tunnel across the map. What did I call this right now? I think they call this the Warsaw Subway. There's a bit of a StarCraft meme going on where Lambo has come up with a build order that he titled the German Taxi build. Where you basically taxi a couple of queens inside of Dropper Lords to the other side of the map. And then a laser decided, you know what? I'm not going to bring the Dropper Lords. Instead, I'm going to put them in a Nidus Worm. And he dubbed that one. I don't know if he dubbed it himself, but that one is now called the Warsaw Subway. And then apparently, there's an Italian version as well that Raynor went for. Now, this is real good, by the way. Anyways, Raynor's build, he called the Italian Vespa. So there's the German Taxi, the Warsaw Subway, and the Italian Vespa build. Very good strat. Ooh, Bly actually... Oh, that's really unfortunate there. So he put in the high energy queens in first, which is the right thing to do, because if you put those units in first, they also pop out of the Nidus first. What he tried to do there was pop the queens out and then transfuse the Nidus while it was being attacked. But now it's 2 Nidus Worms that get absolutely shreked, and this is fantastic at this point for Lambo. The earlier you shut this down, the better it's going to be. I don't think that this one is going to go up either, right? I mean, there's Roaches at this point for Lambo. He's making non-stop units, obviously. Also making 6 Overlords, which probably is a bit of a panic move. Nidus Worms, by the way, contrary to Protoss belief, they're not free. Oh my god. Brenda over here already working on the next worm inside of the main base. Drones and Roaches are going to be pulled here to the rescue too, and I've got a feeling that that also will not go up. Nah. So he's now playing Nidus Whack-A-Mole, and he's been whacking very successfully so far. Lambo on point. He's got his hammer in hand. Just smacking it. Now you can see though that even though he's been defending here, it's not like he's super far ahead. It's easy in Zerg vs. Zerg to anticipate right now, okay, he just invested a couple hundred resources into Nidus Worms and also the Nidus Network. He wanted to go for his push, so he decided to make units real early, so my drones were probably faster and blah, blah, blah. Like, there certainly is an advantage at this point here for Lambo, but if he were to, like, put all of his eggs in one basket and go straight across the map right now, the defender's advantage of Bly would kick in quite quickly, right? Like, Bly actually still has very good upgrades. He's going for +2, +1, which seems awfully greedy here for me, but or to me, rather. He's got a lot of units, by the way, inside of the worm. Needs to be careful that he doesn't forget unloading those. Anyways, you can see Lambo. He knows the correct response to this situation. And, yeah. Looks like he is feeling rather confident. I was actually watching a video that Lambo posted on his YouTube channel a couple days ago on live stream. About defending adept pushes. So the 4-gate adept push that, you know, goes with the glaives upgrade. That's super popular still on the ladder. I mean, it was more popular a little while ago. But you really get like an idea of what goes into high-level StarCraft. Like, Lambo is very clean when it comes to this sort of defense. He knows what to do in these kind of scenarios. Now, he's got a lot of units, though. Yeah, is he going to be able... Oh, my God. He's just going for the sledgehammer approach. He was playing Knight as Whack-A-Mole earlier. Now he's going for the sledgehammer. I don't know, man. I don't like that positioning there for Bly too much, but... There's a Nidus Worm in the meantime on the other side of the map, but I don't know what that's going to do. Yeah, the third base is basically dead. Okay. Yeah, this is not good anymore. Not sure what that Nidus Worm was going to do. I guess that Bly was hoping his opponent would freak out. But the German efficiency here is kicking in. He's like, no, don't worry about it. It's all good. Yeah, couple units pop out, but this is all like it's very like this is a lot of Nidus Worms that are constantly popping up here. 6 Nidus Worms here already. That's just yeah. Playing a sledgehammer apparently for Nidus Whack-A-Mole does work. I didn't anticipate that either. Okay. I mean, this is basically game over right now for Bly, right? I mean, when both units, or when both players are making the same units, I guess the big advantage that Bly does have at this point is that if he manages to max out here, and he is still even in worker count as well, but his upgrades are very far ahead. It's just that at this point, there's like 25 more roaches here for Lambo than there are for Bly. And the defender's advantage is good, but eventually those units will get across the map. Okay, now that's a nice little move. Not bad anyway. But yeah, like, look at this. Lambo is maxed out right now. The main base is gonna run very low here for Bly in just a little bit too. And these positions are just not ideal. Yeah, there's some mispositioning going on right there for Bly. Once again, ends up losing the low ground third. I feel like this is a very slow death animation. Oh no, those biles don't mess around. Very nice. And actually, there's a couple units going around the back over there too, and they don't achieve a whole lot. But here comes the sledgehammer approach once more. He's eating corrosive biles for breakfast though, man. This is actually not a good engagement here for Lambo at all. This is one of those scenarios where you may very well find yourself throwing the game. Because those upgrades don't mess around. Oh my god. No way. That's about the worst that fight could have gone. He ate so many corrosive biles, the units going around the back achieved nothing. Never mind, guys. I didn't think Lambo was going to take a fight like that. He probably thought he was much further ahead there than he actually was. I mean, he's still in a good spot, though. Don't get me wrong, but... Another one of those moves, and it's going to be... It's going to be even again. By the way, there's been, like, a lot of Nidus Worms going up here all the time. We are now up to 8 dead Nidus Worms. It's a little sad, to be honest. Yeah, so that's a lot of resources down there. What does a Nidus Worm cost right now? I think it's 75. So 75 minerals, 75 gas? Now, this does create a little bit of an awkward scenario. I like the contamination actually there by that overseer. Wherever it went. It may have actually gone down. Yeah, this does create a bit of an awkward scenario though right now here for the player in red. I mean, I think he's just going to do it again. Yeah. Don't butcher the fight this time around, then it will probably be okay. You can see though why Bly is not leaving the games early. There's a lot of pro gamers that leave games very early, and I always wonder why. Because mistakes do get made, you know? There it is. Yeah, no, that's too much. That's way too much right now for Lambo. It is going to be GG, but I'm pretty sure he was sitting on the edge of his seat there for a little bit, probably, you know, trash-talking himself for just a sec. Because that could have been an absolute disaster. He's breaking through the natural right now, though. Can kill the Roach Warren here very shortly as well. And with that, obviously, the game is over. Alrighty, there we go. Game number 3 takes us to Death Aura. This map, by the way, has been around for a little while. I was actually talking about that on the stream a couple days ago. So, all of the previous ladder map pools, after like the first few seasons, have been community-made maps. In the early days of StarCraft 2, Blizzard basically made all of the ladder maps themselves, and then they realized that the community maps were, well, first off, way better, and they were probably also cheaper to acquire. So the way that they've been doing it for years is with a tournament called the Team Liquid Map Contest, where community map makers can submit their maps, and then players can play on them, and you can vote for them, and it's like a really cool event, right? So all of these maps, I think Death Aura, maybe that one was actually TOMC 14. I don't know if this one was TOMC 14 or 15. But basically, the most recent Team Liquid map contest was last year. No, not last year. This year in January. I don't know what the next ladder map pool is going to look like. So, most of the time, they seem to do like, I think like 2 of those events a year. But the most recent one was in January. The next ladder season is supposed to start, I think, late January this time around. So in about, I don't know, like a month and a week, something like that. That's when the next ladder season is supposed to start. But I have no clue what ladder maps we're going to be seeing. If there's not another Team Liquid map contest, and if there's not, I don't know. If someone has heard anything about ladder maps, I'm actually very curious. Because one of the reasons why I think the StarCraft ladder remains so fresh and exciting is because of new maps, right? The maps change everything. It would kind of suck if we have another season with like the literal exact set of maps. That would be a little bit strange. Maybe someone, or maybe something, or maybe Blizzard does have something in mind though. Anyways, once again, we have, I think, that save build order here from Lambo. So I think that was a 16 pool. Then a hatch, then a gas. I wasn't actually paying very close attention. Wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those builds that's designed to not die to stupid stuff. I like it. He's now played it 2 games in a row. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and have a look at this myself. So luckily here for Bly, he does see these incoming Zerglings. So he'll probably be able to make his own defensive Zerglings here very shortly too. Around my MMR, at least on the ladder. And I think actually at every MMR on the ladder. There's a lot of cheese in this matchup. Wouldn't be surprised if this is just going to be a nice save approach right here for Lambo. At the very least, it's one of those builds that's probably worth knowing about. If you can get a worker kill, actually. Ooh, not going to happen, I don't think. Nah. But yeah, if you can get a worker queen, or a worker kill, or a queen. A worker queen. If you can get yourself any kills at all, that's probably pretty neat. Shouldn't be super impactful in this game, but once again, if there would have been some cheese from Bly, and I don't think anyone would be surprised to see some cheese from Bly, it would be pretty good, right? This sort of opener would certainly be very nice defensively as well. Now that's cool too. One Zergling, oh, okay, well, never mind. One Zergling was split off from the pack to harass the drone that was supposed to plant down the 3rd. I like it a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and look at this build a little bit more, I think, later today when I go live on Twitch. For those of you wondering, by the way, I stream Monday through Saturday, usually from 2 to 8 p.m. CET. That's early in the morning in the United States, and if you're somewhere on the eastern part of the globe, it's gonna be, you know, either late at night or you know, sometime during the night. But anyways, it's twitch.tv/LowkoTV, Monday through Saturday. Hit the follow button over there if you haven't already. It's gonna be a bailing nest now as a follow-up here from Lambo. He's got himself a decent amount of drones, but not too many. Pretty quick Evo chamber here actually from Bly. So normally the Evo chamber starts up at about 3.5 minutes. He's now decided to go for a very quick one. Did decide to plant down the bailing nest though, I think, when he saw the amount of links that were being produced rather than starting up an upgrade. He does go for the +1 melee upgrade right now, which is going to help him out a lot in these Ling Bane battles once it finishes up. +1 melee is actually awesome. Makes Zerglings so much more powerful. Alright. Looks like for now, though, both players have a bit of a gentleman's agreement to stop making drones. Or sorry, to stop making Zerglings and start making drones instead. Roach Warren coming up here for Lambo very quickly, so even though he made the bailing nest, it was once again just defensively. Yeah. This is a nifty build. Considering we now have 2 games to study, we have this game and then the previous one, I'm gonna have a look at this one, at this strategy. This may very well be a good approach in this matchup. At least if I'm reading this correctly, it looks like a build that is designed to not die to stupid stuff. There's a Roach War now coming up as well from Bly, but he's also gone for the Lair and the +1 melee. So this could very well once again be some Spire play. I don't actually think that this is the best Muta map. Usually maps that that have a hard-to-take 4th base are really good for Mutas. But on this map, you can just take this one relatively easily here if there's a bit of creep around this area. So far, there has not been any creep here from Lambo, but... Overlord speed here as well for Lambo. Started when the lair was about 1/3 of the way done, which is nice. So +1 melee finishes here. Is there going to be anything that Bly decides to do with this? I don't think so, no. Especially with him starting up a Spine Crawler right now. I think this has to be a Spire, right? I don't know. He goes Roach Speed first. A little bit curious. I'm not sure. I think there's some big brain mind games being played here. Yeah, Lambo is now also looking at this and realizes, wait a second, there might be some aggression coming from my opponent. Let me start up a bunch of spines of my own. There is a Spire now eventually here for Bly. So he's not really rushing those out, but he's still getting them rather early. Ling over at the 3rd base confirms the timing of the gases there. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot though. Spine over here over at the 3rd of Lambo does get cancelled. A lot of Zerglings on the left-hand side. These are Links with +1 melee, remember, so... there's Banelings. Should be okay. Yep. Roaches are going to finish up their +1 missile very shortly as well, allowing them to 2-shot Zerglings rather than 3-shot, which is a big difference. And there's now a Spire coming up here for Lambo too. Alright. Yeah, so in this matchup, basically, you can now put up a Spire at any point. Doesn't really matter. If you're at Lair Tech, even if you're really far ahead, just put up a Spire. It's probably better. It seems like Hydra transitions, for example, right now are not even that common anymore. Everyone's just going for a lot of Spire shenanigans. I guess the thing with Hydras is that they require both of the upgrades to be half decent. And when you just, you know, don't have the upgrades, they kind of suck. And it takes too long. Like, it takes a very long time to transition into. I think that's one of the reasons, anyway, why we see a lot of this. A lot of this Muta play. I think that this should be an advantage, though, for Bly, because usually accompanied with Mutalisks are going to be Zerglings, right? And, well, never mind. He started up +2 melee and then went straight into a cancel and started up the +1 missile first. He does still have the +1 melee, though, which is really neat. I think if he knew exactly what his opponent was going for... Did he see the Spire there? He did, actually. Huh. Very curious, then, that he decided to cancel the Why did he cancel the +2 melee? When he saw the Spire? Like... In Muta battles, like I talked about earlier, right? Oh, it's gonna be Corruptors here from Lambo. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So Bly actually realizes this much quicker than we do. At least I do. He realized the amount of Roaches that his opponent probably already had and realized, okay, this is not gonna actually be Mutas and Roaches. It's probably gonna be Corruptors and Roaches instead. And in that situation, it does make sense, actually, that you get yourself the +1 missile. Because, yeah, you're gonna need to make your own Roaches here as well. There's a lot of Overlords, by the way, out on the map. A lot of them were already pulled back here by Lambo, which I like. No OV speed here for Bly, so his are going to have to do it the slow way. Just pulling the X's once. Yeah, so there's the Corruptors. How many Corruptors are we talking right now? There's 6 of them at this point versus 7 Mutas. Corruptors absolutely trash Mutas, obviously. But Mutas are way quicker. Or not way quicker. Both are really quick, but... They're going to be able to use their flappy little wings to go back. By the way, are Muta wings not way too small to, like, carry this large of a body? Especially with that skin where the Mutas have holes in their wings. Makes no sense, dude. My science fiction game is not realistic. Ma! I hate it whenever... Like, we don't even have to talk about Corruptors. Corruptors are so dumb, they shouldn't be able to fly in the first place, right? But we don't talk about them. I like this a lot, though. Using the Corruptors here to zone away the Mutas. Which basically means that we are once again in Roach Ravager Wars. Both players maxed out right now. Here go to Corrosive Biles. It's only 2 Ravagers, right? So it's not going to be able to get that much done. Muta's mostly just here trying to pick up some reinforcing units instead. Corruptors are obviously mostly dead weight at this point, right? I mean, you can eventually get there. Oh, here come the corrosive balls, though. You might be able to use the spewing ability there on the Nexus or kill a couple overlords or something. But I think that this defense right here for Bly this time around is way cleaner. Love the fact as well that the mutas here are being used to snipe as many of those Ravagers and reinforcements, like I pointed out, as possible, which is really nice. Makes it difficult for Lambo to continue this aggression. He decided to now split up his units. So a couple are going to head on over to the 3rd and a couple are going to head on over to the 4th. He's losing the battle, obviously, over at the 4th, but the 3rd is now in a world of trouble. I like this a lot. Okay, nicely done here. How many workers is he going to be able to kill? That's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, these roaches are just being sacrificed right now, but that is an awful lot of units. He's targeting as well. It's like a depth right now shading by, man. Look at that. 21 drones. Okay, gets a couple roaches here as well because of some derping there by Bly with the roaches of his. Not bad at all. Okay. So right now, Lambo finds himself in a situation where he's got a way bigger eco than his opponent. Plus, he's got a much bigger bank. Doesn't have as good of a set of upgrades here, but with +2 missile finishing up, that's going to make it quite a bit better in these Road Ravager Wars. And the rest of the upgrades are almost irrelevant. Oh, Corruptors, Corruptors, Corruptors! Oh, God! Oh! They use their caustic spray ability to go after a hatchery. At the same time, though, Bly right now pushing forward upon reaching maxed out once again. Is this a good fight, though, here for Lam? Or yeah, I don't know. The upgrades, I guess, here are favoring Lambo at this point, but now more reinforcing mutas are coming up because obviously the Spire is still available. That means that Lambo is now going to have to be reinforcing this with Corruptors once more. The fact that he didn't grab the natural there with the caustic spray ability is really unfortunate for the German Zerg. Because now he's forced into those awkward Corruptors once again. Couple roaches over at the 4th base as well. By the way, the spines here on Bly's roaches indicate that Tunneling Claws is done, which can certainly be a nuisance here too. The stutter step micro here. But yeah, like, look at this. If you don't have enough Corruptors, these mutas actually are a massive pain in the ass. Here come the Tunneling Clawed roaches, trying to make use of this chaos over here to try and get maximum value. At the same time, the Zerglings of Lambo managed to sneak out as well, and they're going to be able to snipe the 5th base, but 5th base wasn't that important. Looks like the roaches will be cleaned up here, and that base actually in a world of trouble right now. Lambo's going to end up losing his 4th. There's more Lings once again running towards the top section of the map, but I think, yeah, the real battle is over here, right? I mean, there's roaches ready to intercept these Zerglings. If the Corruptors are cleaned up, I mean, the mutas are going to go and clean house, right? They're going to just be able to kill pretty much everything. The bank that Lambo had is now also depleted. I mean, he's still got minerals, but without minerals or without gas, it's very difficult to spend anything. And that's one of the reasons why having that 4th base is so very critical. You need the gas. Link's coming around the back, though. Link's coming around the back. The mutas are distracted on the other side of the map. Corruptors will end up going down here, but this battle is looking... well, it looks pretty good there. What Lambo was doing on paper was pretty good, but I think there may have just been too many roaches available there for Bly. Both players microing multiple battles at once, and I think that Bly is actually winning both. There it is. GG is called. Bly wins the 3rd map. Alrighty, so here we go. Next map is Jagannatha. And you know what? Can't help but notice that Mr. Bly is not building anything. And that usually means he's saving up minerals to go for a spawning pool at 12 supply. Cheeky, cheeky Bly. The thing is, though, Lambo has been going for safe builds every game. If Lambo goes for a hatchery on the low ground this time around, that would be a little bit silly. I mean, it defended it just fine in game number 1, I guess, right? But if he goes spawning pool early here again, or a gas geyser early, he's going to be fine. Does go up to 17 drones, so I don't think it's going to be a hatch on the low ground first. That makes no sense. I think it's going to be 17 pool. Oh, 17 gas. Okay, and then it's going to be a 17 pool. Was it 18 or 7? It doesn't matter, but he's going early gas, early pool, right? Now, there is a cheeky drone, apparently, moving towards the top left-hand corner. Maybe what Bly wants to do is build like a spine crawler here. You know, outside of the fog of war or something, but I don't really see that happening. So 3 larvae are available right when the spawning pool finished up as well. Oh, you know what? I actually think that this is a little bit different. Oh, I like this. So, Bly... Ah, okay. He knows the timing at which a regular hatchery goes down, obviously. And at this point, he must realize that he should not be pulling the boys. Yeah. So he sees the timing right there of the hatch and he realizes, okay, should not be pulling the drones to the other side of the map. Instead, we'll just go back to making those workers and mining those minerals instead. Lambo doesn't know it, but he just dodged the bullet. Actually, he dodged the bullet, but he has an assault rifle himself, and he's like decked out in Kevlar from tippity top all the way down to his big toes, okay? He's like wrapped around in it. He's never... Yeah, he was ready to take the bullet. So I guess it was Bly who dodged, you know, Lambo's bullet that he didn't even know he had. Very safe approach though here, man. There's some 700 IQ plays going on because both players are trying their very best to just not die. Dying to stupid stuff. A story in StarCraft 2 below Grandmaster League. It's so true though. I know some people watch these videos and then feel inspired by them. They're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to go on the ladder. And then they get cannon rushed and triple barracks cheesed and 12 pooled and everything. And I'm like, man, fuck this game. These games sucked. Look, guys, view it as a rite of passage, okay? You gotta learn how to not die to stupid stuff. You're allowed to play strategy after you've learned not to die to stupid stuff. Branda trying to kill the Overlord. Don't think it's gonna happen, dude. He's inside of the trees, Blanda. Yeah, see? You could barely even see him, even though he's kind of floating above it. There's just some very small trees. Link speed is done, though, here for Lambo. I actually love the Evo chamber over here. There's a lot of links here. Yeah, that Evo chamber is reducing the surface area on the spine, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna cancel it, and then he's gonna be fine. A couple of links will be killed. Probably expected that to be a drone. Already, Lambo's making drones of his own. But yeah, this is like, after that 12 pool, right? Like, he didn't commit to it, which is fine. But, yeah, Bly's in a lot of trouble here. I mean, he starts up his own link speed right now. He kind of wanted his opponent to commit there now. But if Lambo just makes drones here... Oh my god, losing a queen would actually suck. Okay. Yeah, Lambo is very far ahead here. He's 11 workers up. That's 50% more eco than his opponent. Pretty sick. I know someone's gonna disagree, by the way, with the 50%. Like, well, no, Carl, it's actually a third. No, it's not. Read a book. I might be wrong. I don't know. I remember the last time I did math in a YouTube video. I did it terribly wrong. Pretty sure I nailed it this time, though. Anyways, Lair's already done here for Lambo, actually. Wasn't really paying attention to his timing on the Lair. That's a very quick spire. I think the flippy flappies are going to be going across the map here very soon, and that's before Lambo, or sorry, Bly is even going to be able to get any tech out. This has to now be mute-up play basically as well from Bly, right? Or you know, a Nidus, but yeah, Lambo is ahead in pretty much every way. That being said, though, I was thinking maybe Bly could go ahead and do a big push, but look at that. The Banelings are awaiting the Zerglings. It's not going to happen. He goes Roach Warren right now, so I think Lambo may very well be going up here against a Nidus Worm very shortly, but... Yeah, he's going to be able to... Or he's going to be able to maybe scout here, and that's nice. Not even that. Even though he hasn't seen it, though, yeah, there's the Nidus. Even though he hasn't seen it, he does start up a couple of those spine crawlers and then a wall at the front too. But there's gonna be mutas here. There's gonna be mutas. It's gonna be very painful. So it's a full wall off, by the way, here from Bly. Nidus Worm actually gets spotted as well with a changeling. The Overseer just double checks as well to see if it gets cancelled at all. Looks like it won't be cancelled. And this is now Lambo's game to lose. He's just making a ton of mutas. I guess there is a chance that Bly could send, like, spores through the... oh, very nice scout here as well. Oh my god, even the Nidus Worm gets spotted in this random location. I guess if he can get, like, drones across the map and then, like, make spores or something and then slow push with that, there's a chance, but... This is going now from bad to worse. Nidus Worm right in the middle of the base. I mean, that's not gonna happen. Lambo sees it right out. And now that one will also be killed. Mutas are gonna be able to kill all of these overlords very easily, and that will deny the vision here and will prevent future Nidus Worms from going up. Look at the patrolling Zerglings all over the map. He's making sure right now that he is not gonna get a worm that goes unchecked. Sees the next one coming up. Should be able to clean that one up relatively easily as well. And, I mean, we saw how that worked in the second game, right? When you play Nidus Whack-A-Mole. With the Nidus Worm, you're really waiting for that surprise. Bly's now putting those Nidus Worms further and further back, but they still get found. Lambo, you are playing out of your mind. That is incredibly good. And remember, right, this is still 2-base Zerg right now. Blythe decides to make the walk of shame. He's got a lot of queens in there, but... Okay, so his next plan is going to be Tunneling Claws and then probably the Burrow upgrade. This gets spotted right away as well by Lambo, who sees what his opponent is going for. And look at that mini-map, right? Everything that's red is Lambo. Lambo sees the whole map, pretty much. There's another Nidus Worm, but I mean, the queens could have walked over there, man. That's like... Through the speed circle especially, that's so easy. And even that one gets spotted and killed before it can finish up. Lynx managed to get... Oh my god. Managed to get the wraparound, and all that precious energy that has been saved up here for a long time is gonna be gone. Roaches get found on the other side of the map as well, and this feels like Bly is like rubbing salt in his own wounds. Even an Evo Chamber there to block those roaches. That Evo Chamber was saying, get out of my game. Yeah, this is probably the most one-sided pro game I've casted in a while. And it all started, though, with that 12 pool, right? That Bly decided to go for. Like, he decided to go for the 12 pool, and then he didn't actually commit to it. Because, you know, it was smart for him not to commit to it, but you already put yourself so far behind at that point. Bly is currently at 69 supply, which, as a matter of fact, is not nice. He needs way more than that. I know some of you are thinking, nice. No, guys, it's not. It's not nice at all. Yeah, so Burrow, oh my god, he forgot Burrow. He got Tunneling Claws, but forgot Burrow. Oh, Bly. Bly's like, he's got like little stab wounds all over his body, and he found like a very salty lake, and he's rolling around in it, man. My god. He's looking, though, to pull a rabbit out of a hat here. Maybe there's a rabbit down there somewhere, dude. Just keep checking. Maybe it'll appear. We're now at 28 mutas, though. And 28 mutas really don't care about spores. They really don't care about Nidus Worms. They really don't care about queens. You can almost one-shot these Niduses right now. Or, sorry, these spores right now. And there it is. G is called by Bly. And with that, Lambo obtains the victory. This final game was brilliantly played. Really well done. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button so you get notified as soon as future videos go live. Today, I want to give a special shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you very much for your generosity. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.